And you get a feeling when your angels come through, like a feeling of like warmth or comfort. Hello and welcome everyone to Awakening to Ascension podcast, episode 9. I am your host, Alex Nelson. I'm here with Janae, Marlene, and Melissa. And today's topic is aliens versus angels. What is the difference? So this one, we get a lot of influence from outside sources that we can't see. And you'll have like intuitive moments, or you'll have physical synchronicities that you can actually see. And in this episode, we're going to discuss how to tell the difference, whether they are angels or aliens. You want to start us off, Janae?
Yes. Okay, so I just want to explain something to those of you that might need to understand the difference between the two. So, angels are essentially non-physical beings, and they have an extremely high vibrational frequency, and their job is to guide and protect us on Earth. We have guardian angels. We are assigned one guardian angel for our entire life, and then we have multiple angels that come through in different phases of our lives. Then aliens are physical beings that are living in different realms. So they live in extremely, oh, and there goes the lights, which means they're here. Guys, technology gets affected when the angels are around, and I am highly connected to my angels specifically. So I'm just making a plan right now. So all my technology has gone off right now. That is hilarious. So, anyways, with aliens, they are in different realities and realms. So they are also referred to as Pleiadians, Octarians, Lumerians, and we are able to connect with them. And some are able to connect with all beings of light, and some are able to connect with specific beings.
Would you say that there are benevolent and malevolent aliens? And are angels solely benevolent, or are there any like fallen angels that we would have to worry about or be aware of?
Well, I think, are you asking me or are you asking the group?
I'm asking anyone.
So I do think that there are fallen angels that have not necessarily ascended. And I do think that you need to be quite conscious and aware of who you are going to be connecting with when you are opening up your gates and your doors to these higher beings. And we spoke about the protection that you need to have and the cleansing that you need to do. So before you connect with your angels, you also have a ministry of angels that you can call on literally the entire day. You can ask them anything and they will be at your side. But you have to have protection over you and always call in the highest light. And you need to cleanse yourself once you close the connection so that you aren't remaining open for others to enter.
Right. And something to mention, so you mentioned the aliens are more physical beings. And one thing to keep in mind is that, okay, so aliens exist, so we have to just get past that, right? I mean, we've been on this planet for only so many years, and we're very new in the sense of like the universe. And aliens, extraterrestrial beings, have much more advanced technology than we do. I mean, they've been going through the solar system. They're not stuck on their planets. A lot of them reside in collective consciousness, so they're working as one collective rather than fighting each other like we are doing down here. But to keep in mind that there are some malevolent alien forces out there. Some consider them reptilians, the Greys, the Anunnaki, and they can manipulate us. They can do things to either trick us or get us to go down the wrong path or pit us against each other. And with angels, they are more, I think more so benevolent. And you get a feeling when your angels come through, like a feeling of like warmth or comfort. I mean, there have been times I've been guided in a way where I thought I was being led on my path, but I was being tricked. And I was like, oh, this isn't this isn't where I need to be going. So like at that point I realized that was probably some kind of alien interference or something to get me to go off my path. Melissa?
I do really want to emphasize, I do think that there is a creator, and that creator is the one that formed the light and created darkness, made the peace and created evil. And I think that it's really what we attract and what we magnetically bring to us because all of this is higher intelligence, and it's really coming through our human experience and through our perception on how we see things. Because our perception, I had a conversation with my son yesterday, and he was telling me about Lucifer, like the fallen angel, that he wasn't actually, he took the mark off of the creator's sister. And that's how he fell down to earth. He was here, he was actually one of the first right hand archangels. And then when he took the mark from God's sister, so she couldn't continue to intervene, that's when Lucifer took that and everything came to him in darkness. And it was such a deep conversation. And I could go even more on this, but I'm not. But I do think it comes to that higher intelligence really is what the creator created, the light and the darkness, the peace and the evil, right? It's where you fall into that. Now, can you have a balance of that? That is the duality that we are living and walking as a human vessel. But I think our vessel is what we attract. And if we continue to be on the fence of darkness or on light or in between, you know, it's a place where how we hold that light, I think. And we're always going to be safe. And I feel like you shouldn't have fear of either, right? So it's really like what you feel in your heart.
Yeah, for me, I would say that that goes in with your intention and where you are vibrating, whether you choose the fear or you choose love, to actually connect in. So if you are wanting to work with the angels, always remembering that whatever you call in is what is going to come to you. So when you're working with your angels, you're going to ask them to come in and work with you and do certain things. And you're going to, through that process, start to feel for yourself what it actually feels like to have your angels in support, just like your guides. And obviously, when the feeling changes to something heavier or something that is unknown to you, then you're going to tap into that and say, okay, well, that's a no-go for me, and withdraw. So again, yes, Melissa, I agree. It's what you hold, and that vibration that overrides the whole thing. Yeah. Shanae.
So I'd like to touch on what Marlene said about the intention, and are you going to be in fear or in love? Now, love is one of the highest vibrational frequencies that we operate in because you're operating from your heart space, which is your authentic truth. Now, if you look at children, children are pure because they haven't been programmed yet, and they are operating from their heart space and they are truth. And that's why they say that young children can see these beings because they are so connected to that realm that they are able to see them. And I speak from experience. So my son Mason, when he is still highly connected and attuned, because I'm bringing him up consciously, but when he was very young, he would point to his angels, and there were three of them, and he would always point them in a triangular shape above his head because they were in unity around him. And my dad was showing him a picture the one day, or like going through a coloring in book, and he needed to just put his hand on the picture that he wanted to draw. Now he's 2, so he wasn't speaking. and he smashed his hand down onto the coloring in book, and he pointed up with his other hand, and then the picture was actually of angels. So that's something really beautiful to remember. And if you do have children and they are connecting, guide them safely, and don't cut it off, because we were cut off as children. Our parents may have intentionally or unintentionally put a brick wall between us and that space. And then also, just to bring up what Alex mentioned about the feelings that you may feel when connecting, something personal again within myself is, like I said to you when my lights went off, I'm very connected to the angelic realm. And when my angels are near, I have a very, very intense feeling on my left shoulder, as though they have their hand on me to protect me. And that feeling intensifies if I'm in a situation that may not feel very comfortable for me in this human form. They're there to just remind me that they are present, and I must remember that they are around and I don't need to worry. And then, just something that I came across most recently is a prayer to say every single day. So you can say it as often as you want to say it, but I say it first thing in the morning. And the prayer is, Ministry of Angels, oversee all that I do and make it easy, magical, and filled with gifts. Thank you. And you'll find your day becomes so much more beautiful and aligned because they are walking alongside with you.
I would also like to add, I know this can sound very complicated to a lot of people, because it did for me in my beginning, because I was like, oh, I don't feel my spirit guides, I don't feel angels, and I still truthfully do not. But I do feel them run through me in a way of chills. I call it the truth chills, and we run that through our family. When things resonate with us in our heart, my whole body lights up, like, and it's doing it right now because I know I'm speaking the truth. And the thing is, and that's my sign from my guides, they run through me and I'm getting that validation. So don't feel like you have to hear this and you have to hear that, or you have to see this, or you have to feel this. What resonates really with you? Because it actually started out with me with ringing in my ears. I would get a little ringing and then it would kind of itch, but it wasn't tinnitus, because that's like a long going thing. But then I looked into it because I thought, maybe I'm getting tinnitus. It actually said that's when they're trying to get your attention. So I started going into that, and then it started going through my whole body. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just wanted to say with Melissa that when you feel that goosebump feeling, so when you get all the hairs on your body standing up, it's just confirmation in whatever you've been asking clarity on, or a situation you're in, or people you're around. If you have a feeling or an intuitive sense about something, they will allow you to feel physically that confirmation.
Yeah, and I'm glad you both brought that up. Feeling so when you get full body chills, just like Janae said, it's a confirmation. Like every cell in your body is resonating with something that's happening around you. And that's a good sign that like something's coming through, something in that moment is something that is for you. And also the ringing in the ears, like I get that a lot. It's not tinnitus, and that is an entity trying to get your attention, or something in the moment is happening. One way that I just remembered that you can use to define or describe or to find out who's coming through is the moment you feel like maybe you have ringing in the ears, you get full body chills, or you just like feel a message coming through. You can just ask yourself, who's coming through right now? And generally, your intuition, like the first thought you have, is who it is, right? And I've also begun, so I'm also a channel. I mean, we all are. You just have to access that or learn how to do it. And what I've noticed through my awakening is when certain entities or collectives come through, I'll get a different sensation in a different part of my body. So for those that are resonating with the Syrian collective, whenever they start coming through, my eyes will start doing this, like, I don't know if I can do it just like offhand, but they'll start like flipping around, and they'll just like dart from place to place. And I'll be like, okay, this is weird. Um, and then over time, I've been like, is this serious? Like the Syrian nation. And then I feel this feeling of comfort, like, yeah, this is who it is. And then I have another sensation that happens, which is with my right eyelid. Whenever portals start opening, it just starts like twitching like really fast.
Mhm.
And when it first happened, the first thought that I had, I was just like, portals. And I don't know why I thought that. And I was like, I just won't think about that. And then like every time it happens, and especially around portal days, it just starts going crazy. So that's one way that you can tell.
So, Alex, I also connect with the Syrians because my eyes do that. When I channel them, my eyes are generally closed, but I can feel my eyeballs moving. And that is their way of they transmitting signals into your human form in order for you to connect so that you can hear clearly what the message is that you're going to receive from them. And something else that I wanted to say was when you are choosing to connect with higher light beings, there's another way that you can do so, and that's through visualization. So before you connect, you close your eyes and you center your eyes to your third eye with your eyes closed. So you look here in between your brows, and depending on who you feel called to connect to, if it comes naturally or if you are trying to call on someone specific, with your eyes closed, you visualize and you call them. So if you are calling Archangel Michael, for instance, you try to visualize what he looks like. And everyone will have a different visual of him because it's in your mind's eye. And once you have that visual of him, you breathe deeply and you sense. So because your eyes are closed, they say that's why you meditate with your eyes closed, because your other senses become heightened. So your hearing and your feeling of touch. So with your eyes closed, what you will begin to feel is a sensation. So with the different entities and higher light beings that you are calling in, you'll start to feel different sensations with each one. So I was explaining to the group before we came on live that the difference that I feel, obviously, between the angelic realm and the aliens is with the angelic realm, it's that tingling sensation like pins and needles that I feel. And with the aliens, it's this density. So I explained it as feeling like I'm sitting in a really thick cloud. And I can feel their presence, and it's not overwhelming and it doesn't feel unsafe. And they're just making their presence known by almost compressing my energetic field and my aura. So, in that visualization, you start to tap into your senses and just remember that it will take time. And you need to build a relationship as we have with our humans around. You don't just like meet somebody and sit down across from them and tell them your whole life story and like Sally did this and Harry did that. You first engage in conversation. You say, hello, my name is Janae. What is your name? And you build this connection and this relationship. And it's the same when you're connecting with your guides or aliens or angels. So just remember, it won't happen immediately. It takes patience and takes consistency, and they will meet you where you're at as well.
Yeah, and I do
Melissa.
want to add that gratitude, when you wake up, just knowing that gratitude, it's like the strongest formation of love that you can say out of your mouth and say it to yourself and say it to the ones around you, the ones you love, your acquaintances, and it just kind of vibrates outward. And I think you will stay in that balance of protection through the day. And it's using your gut feeling. And then also, I just want to add, connecting myself. I go out for walks in the evening with my dog, and I had this very faint pattern in the sky that I was just like, why am I always seeing this? It's so faint. My husband doesn't see it. I took my constellation finder out, and it's the Pleiades that's in the Tauran or the Taurus constellation. And it vibrates at me. And I was always like, why is this always calling me? And then my son said, yeah, I'm called to that too. And he goes, you see it? I said, yeah, I see it. So, we do have bloodlines. Our soul has been through multiple different lives, not just here on earth. So remember that you are connected. Just be true to yourself, accept it. We don't have to be human just because we're walking the earth. We can live outside of what we believe. Be curious, be like Janae said, that 3-year-old, have that imagination.
And also from my side, just to say that when you're sleeping as well, if you keep waking up at a particular time, for example, that's also another sign, for example, that they're coming through and they want to speak to you, and they want you because your consciousness is such that you are open to actually hearing and feeling the messages. So that's a beautiful time. And don't think, oh my gosh, why am I waking up at like 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that? That's another great sign that they're tapping in and that they've got messages for you. So listen and accept it. Yeah.
I I am so glad. I come here. I am so glad that you brought up dreaming. That is like one of the main ways that aliens and angels can connect with us. And in a future episode, we actually will be doing a topic from dreams and astral traveling. So make sure to tune into that. So make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and put in the comments if you've had any experiences with angels or aliens. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.